Well, let's spend about 40 minutes doing our pickups, and then we can talk about this dumb movie. Go for it, man. What do you got?
Well, one I got, and I know you got as well because you told me about it, so I wouldn't have even known about it. So, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, and I want you to fill in the gaps because you know these guys and everything they do more than I do. And this is where this movie means a lot to me because of the nostalgia factor. This is one of your favorite movies, so I don't, like I said,
it is. Yeah,
I'll let you add any additional commentary.
I didn't even put it down in my. I forgot about it until
I know because so long ago.
It's been so long ago.
Yeah. But one of the great movies of the 80s, especially kids that love dinosaurs, was Baby Secret of the Lost Legend. And outside of, I know there were trading cards, but there wasn't a whole heck of a lot from a merchandising standpoint and nothing from a toy standpoint, really. And so the good geniuses, the toy making gurus over there at Fantazm Toys, Tony Taylor and Beducci Studios, who did our logo, they did an amazing baby toy out of resin. I believe it's resin. I'm not very good at all the materials, but it's like 9 inches long. And look at this guy. This is it is a really damn good toy.
It's perfect.
It is. I hope that there's
mine's right there.
And hopefully it looks the same. Because they are definitely, quality control, consistency. And I hope there is a category in the Jeffries next year for, hey, like, I'll do it myself because I'm a badass, and this one should be in there. I know they do awesome stuff with the things that resemble Ghostbusters things and whatnot, but this is so friggin' cool. They did a wonderful job. This thing is heavy; it has weight to it. The paint job is beautiful. It's like you can tell there's like some texturing, and the skin folds like it's done just great. It's done wonderfully. And so kudos to those guys for the work that they do, and that was a really cool pickup.
That is a great pickup. What happened with that was Beducci posted, he did a render of it, he did a render of it and he posted on his Instagram, and he was basically like, hey, I've never heard anybody talk about this movie, but I like it. So I just thought this would be cool. And I don't think they were planning on making a toy of it, because I messaged Beducci immediately and I was like, hey man, I will do anything you want me to do in my life. I will give you any amount of money that you want if you print me if you can make me one of those toys. I was like, I love this movie. There's 0 toys from it. Can you make this? And he was like, hey, well, let me talk to Tony. I think we can, maybe you might have to paint it yourself, but we'll figure it out, And I was like, hey, I'll do whatever. I don't care. And then I think they probably got some other people commenting on it too, and they decided to do a run of them. So luckily I didn't have to paint it myself. Thank you. But yeah, dude, job. That there's no toys. There's 2 different like little candy containers and it's like the head. There's 2 different ones. There's some books out there. There's some coloring books. There is novelization. There is an inflatable baby, which was a promotional item. And that's it. And I own all of it.
That's awesome. Well, then now you own like the coolest toy.
I'm so happy. Now, I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, I wonder what other toys I can get them to make that didn't get toy lines.
Tell Jay, what else you love Buckaroo Banzai. Well, actually, hey, real quick, everybody. Come on now, Buckaroo Banzai is the best. Tell them that, we're going to tell everybody that amazingly, there's still some babies left. Go to Fantazm Toys and you can buy.
No one else is ever gonna make it, so go buy it. It's literally a perfect toy. It's perfect.
And you and I both have a lot of toys of different styles and whatever. And I promise, like, it's that good. Like, it's really.
I'm gonna
really
try to. I don't know if they're Hey guys, if you guys are listening, I want the mom and the dad in scale,
and some poachers. I know, right? So I've got a few other things. The one that I picked up kind of on a whim. I love this. I don't have a lot of Sunguts personally, but I like the smaller scale of theirs and this what they do. And I picked up this cool little. The price was great. 2001 King Ghidorah. This little guy.
Oh my God, Jay.
That's so cool.
That is beautiful.
I love it. Yeah. So I picked this guy up from our good buddy Alex over at Black Market, shopblackmarket.co, I think is their URL. Local toy seller, does some really cool stuff in the Tokusatsu realm. But I picked this from him, and I love it. I love it.
I want that. Yeah. It's like a little banana.
And speaking of friends, our good buddy Thirsty Thursday Toys, Adam, out in the Pacific Northwest, he was selling off some of his collection. He's going to be at G-Fest, Attack All Monsters, or All Monsters Attack, excuse me. And one of his items that he had that he was selling, and I was shocked, was something that I've been looking for a long time. And I haven't been able to find it. And nobody's posted in the groups. And I was like, oh, I need this. And his price was great. And there's no header or anything, but I don't care about the headers anyway. I don't display the headers. Mm-hmm. And it's from Marmit, 2003. World Character Convention exclusive. It's Marmit Monster Heaven line, which is my favorite line of Marmit. Our good buddy from the Gamera movie we just reviewed, Gamera versus Baragon. It's Baragon, but Baragon, who's glow in the dark and Mardi Gras colored. Look at this guy. God. I know.
Why does that exist?
Because it needs to be on my shelf.
So weird. I love it, Jay.
Yeah, so it's the weirdest thing.
It's like Easter colored. It's literally Easter egg
Happy
colored.
Easter.
It's pastel Easter eggs. What a
the Easter Baragon.
What a beauty.
Yeah, and the crazy thing that you can't see here is down here in the throat where it looks like the tongue is about to come out. Like it's actually like really detailed and like textured down in there. Like they spent some time on it. But you're right. It's Easter. It's Mardi Gras colors. It's glow in the dark. It's Baragon, which is already weird sculpt to begin with, or designed to begin with. And I love Marmit because they do not care what colorway they're gonna do whatever they want to do, and I love it. And so I was super excited to get this. This was on my list, short list of things, probably just outside the top 10. But I've been looking for that one for a while, since the first time I saw the pictures of it. Yeah, it's a total win. 20-year-old figure. Now everything else I got were BioGojis from Marusan. And I got a lot. But I have to do something special here. So there was one that came up, I saw on Instagram, and they referred to it as the new classic colorway. Because the classic is what the first one that they released, one that they just released the 450 in this colorway as well. It's the first one that they do because it's that classic Marusan blue thing that remember that the J-tail and the L-tail from 67 had. And but like it said new, so I don't know if this was just like a newer run or if this was like a totally new colorway. Like basically, do I need to have this in my collection because is it different enough? And I don't know. So I went ahead and bought it just to see, to do a check. And so here's the original.
Are we going to compare them? We're going to compare them right here.
It's still in the bag. It's still in the bag.
Oh man, this is great.
So this is the original Marusan 1989, the first one of the whole BioGoji line. This is the classic, right? The classic one.
Yes.
This is the first one. Wasn't the first one that I owned, but it's the first one they released in the line. Love this guy. And so this is the other guy. So it looks similar. I'm thinking it might be different enough, but I'm actually going to open him up here.
Let's open him, dude. Let's open it live on air.
Because the other ones that I have do not look anything like any of the other ones. Are very different.
Very different.
Okay, now let's compare. It is. Let's see. It's a little lighter.
It's very different. Look at the chest. Look at his chest. It's very different.
I guess the verdict's in. I'm keeping him.
Let me see the spines. Let me see the spines on both.
There's definitely more blue in the new one.
There's blue on the new. Hey, I'm going to tell you, I like the original better, but it's definitely different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job.
Well, that's why we're here, to help me solve my toy problems.
That one, well, see, the thing is, Jay, do you display those like in order of release?
No.
On your shelf, I do like just how it.
I just look what I think aesthetically looks good. So I'll have like a lot of glitters together.
Any
of
the colors that go together.
Yeah. Okay. But because they're doing some really wacky stuff, it's really throwing everything off. So the other guys I got, there's 7, 3 of them, which are all kind of part of a little family.
Hold on.
Yeah.
7. You're about to show 7 of these.
7.
So you got 8 of these guys tonight.
I got 8 of these. Yes.
You might have a problem, Jay.
Okay. Anyway, dude,
but it's a good problem. I love it.
It's a good problem. It's a problem I can eventually sell off right now. I'm joking.
You better not.
No. So speaking of, if that ever happened, there are 3 on here, and once again, you'll see they go together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
would be in my do not sell list. Like I think these might be 3 of my favorites. But before we get to those, there was one unpainted, like a solid color, which I don't have. I just got it because it's chocolate. I was thinking like Easter's coming around the corner.
God, you got Easter pickups this week. You got a chocolate Godzilla. You better take a picture of that chocolate. You need to take a picture of those Easter ones and
I know, look at these guys together.
That is, oh my God. Put a Mothra egg in there, a couple Mothra eggs. This is a perfect Easter photo.
How did I not have that ready for Instagram? You know,
dude.
The other, I got 2 that go together. Part of the new, like, you know, they've been releasing a lot of clear, transparent or translucent ones. Excuse me. I got the bright green and the bright blue.
Oh,
these are cool. So now I have the clear pink, the clear orange, and the just totally just translucent clear. These guys will go up there with that. I love these. I mean, I'm a sucker for translucent stuff, so these are going to be purchases regardless. Then this one is cool, but the next one is cool. It's glow in the dark, but it follows the same colorway pattern that they've done. They've just mixed up the colors, so it'll look similar, but this is just a little bit new colorway. And they did this in the 452, and it looks really good. So this is the black and white with this kind of maroon metallic spine. And I like the subtle kind of maroon metallic in the chest. So I really like this guy. And there's some, like I said, there's some similar ones to this up there, and it'll look really good next to those guys. So the final 3 I'll do together. Now, these are like, I truly think these are 3 of my favorite. I really think they're my top 5 or 6. I don't know which one I like the best either. That's the hard part. They are, well, I guess these could kind of be Eastery. There's some Easter tints to them. We're talking translucent vinyl doused in red glitter with some really badass striping. So I'll do the first one. They're all very similar. So here he is. He's red glitter.
Oh,
and
that looks like it.
Yeah, I love the.
It looks like a spicy Cheeto or something.
It's awesome. Like I love the dorsal fins. You have the yellow and the red, but with the glitter. But then you have the blue stripe as well that goes along the sides. Absolutely adore these. And the different. And here's how they make them a little bit different. So it looks similar, but he's blue and he has a green stripe there. And then this guy has a purple one. So they are.
Ooh, I like the purple one.
Yeah, the purple one's my favorite, I think.
Those figures look like after you handle them, you need to wash your hands before you touch your face or your eyes are going to water.
They're very spicy.
I love those. Are beautiful.
Yeah, they're
red,
really cool.
That's such a good shade of red.
Yeah. I mean, and this is like, I mean, it is doused in glitter.
Yeah.
It's very, 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 very cool. But I really do love those 3, man. And very, very excited to. And I'm trying to rearrange the shelves because now I have 89.
What do you know what you're up to?
Side. Yes. I think that new classics I'm keeping it, I think makes it 71.
Okay, so you're really close to the 89 for 89.
I've one, and
you're
I've one
really
on the way.
Close.
I have one on the way. And then after that, I don't know. Well, I have to make them. I'm buying all of them I got. I could probably get to the 89 by buying different eye color variants, but I don't want to do that because I still enjoy buying them.
Well,
but I have to say,
they're not done releasing them.
No, they know. There's idiots like me out there. Yeah, you know, I have to say, like, for the first time though, I've really noticed maybe the last couple of waves, like when I'm buying more than one at a time, I'm like, I'm really excited to get these red glitter ones with the two-tone dorsal spines. But then like, yeah, but there's also the brown one. Well, I kind of got to get it. Am I super jazzed about this? Like, probably not, but
I love the chocolate one.
Yeah,
more should look like chocolate. I really love that one. That's such a funny.
Hey, There's nothing else on the shelf like it. I'll give you that.
Exactly. You don't see a lot of that color on sofubi. It's just brown, like that. And it's brown. Not, but it's not even just brown. That is like Hershey's chocolate.
Yeah.
It looks like I want to eat it.
I know, it's Mr. Hanky, the Christmas sofubi. It is like legit. Like looks edible. It really does.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's not. It's vinyl. I was making sure. Okay. But yeah, so those are my pickups. I really, man, the baby toy, blew me away, and I was so happy to get the Baragon. And then, of course, always fun to add to the BioGoji collection.
Mm-hmm.
Soon it'll take over the whole room.
Well, Jay, that's some really, really good stuff, man. I'm really excited about the evolution of your 89 collection. It's impressive, and it's funny, and they're beautiful. It's cool to see that you could do the same figure that many ways. So love it.
That's how you make money, man. That's how you make money.
They're like, we don't care, just change something. So I have bought a lot of stuff in the last since we've recorded. I went to a toy show in Atlanta. Toylanta, in fact, is what it's called.
So that's in Atlanta,
original name. They have toys in Atlanta. I have spent so much money, but not on a lot of Godzilla stuff, because Toylanta, it's fun. Me and Craig talked about it. We want to find a new toy show to start going. We were like, you know what? We need to go to a bigger toy show that's not in Georgia. Toylanta's fun, but it seemed smaller this year. It seemed run less well. It just did not seem great. There's no kaiju presence at this. There's one guy who's there every year who always has Ultraman stuff, but it's just Bandai stuff, and it's the same guy every year. So it's nothing. You'll see a few like random Trendmaster stuff, but nothing like worth buying. So I spent a lot of money I bought a lot of vintage Star Wars. I did find something that I really wanted, and I had moved to the top of my top 10 regular toy list. Was the vintage Knickerbocker Lord of the Rings animated toys. They're very rare, they're very expensive, and I was able to pick up 3 of the 6 of them at the convention, which is awesome. But here's the thing. I was like, whenever we were going to this convention, I was like, you know what? Somebody's going to have a Clash of the Titans Kraken, and I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy one. As soon as we walked in, we saw one guy who had 2 of them.
What?
We ended up seeing 4.
Embarrassment of riches.
There were 4 at the convention. 2 of them came with some of the other figures, like loose, Clash of the Titans figures. But here's the thing. All of them severely overpriced. I've been doing research on those because I do want to pick it up. And if you look at the last few that have sold, $400 for a complete good condition Kraken. $400.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
No,
if they would have had one if they would have had one for $400, I would have bought it. But you know how much they were? $800. $800 was the cheap. $800 was the cheapest of the 4. One guy was trying to get $1,200, and it was the Kraken and 3 of the figures, but all of the figures were not complete. They were all missing pieces. And the human figures, you can get them on eBay. Pretty cheap. Not cheap, but you can get them for less than $100 a piece with their weapons. So I was like, nobody's paying $12. Me and Craig had a kind of a funny talk about it. And this goes with Star Wars too. People talk about how rare some of these Star Wars toys are and how rare that Kraken is supposed to be. 4 people had the Kraken. We saw every person who sold Star Wars toys had a blue snaggletooth, and that's supposed to be like a really rare. And I'm like, is it rare? Everybody's got one here. There's
great marketing. It's great marketing.
It's so weird. We were like, I don't think these are as rare as people think they are. So whatever.
That Kraken is so cool, though. It is such an iconic style and look, and it is cool. There's one here actually at Dallas Vintage Toys. Our good buddy.
Oh, do they still have it?
I think so. Last time I was over there, it was still there. It is a cool toy, and that line is cool.
Let's see what their price is. Yeah, I do want to pick that line up, and I will get that Kraken, but the reason I'm not so like crazy, when the Cloverfield toy, when I saw that, I was like, I have to buy it. This is the only one I've ever seen. I'm going to pay what they're asking because you don't see these ever.
Yeah.
I see the Kraken everywhere I go now. It's like everybody's got one, so I'm not too worried about it. I will get the Kraken when the price is right,
Yeah. Yeah, and when the Cloverfield one, you got it, and it also had like everything, like the accessories,
it's complete, and the box,
it's super,
nobody.
And the box is really cool too. So like, you want to make sure you have that as opposed.
And
to
I wouldn't have bought it. That toy is so expensive and rare that I wouldn't have bought it. Not complete. I was like, I want to get that as complete so I can get it. But I did spend a day or two in Savannah, and Savannah's got a couple cool toy stores. Cool. Something I was not expecting, because you don't see it that often, is I walked into a toy store and they had a whole case of Kaiju toys.
That's amazing.
All sofubi. It wasn't like American shit. It wasn't like monster art stuff. It was sofubi. There were pieces in there that I knew. There was a piece in there that me and you a week previously were talking about, and I was like, oh, I think I want this. And then they had it.
Yeah.
I didn't buy it like an idiot because it was expensive, but I bought one thing in there. Nothing rare, nothing crazy. You see it all over the place, but it's also a toy that when I've seen before, I've seen it on your site before, and I said, you know what? It's fine. But then when you see it in person, it's like, oh, I like this. And it's this guy.
Oh, I love that one. I love their 62 sculpt. I think Gigabrain does a really good job. Yeah.
And I mean, I don't have a ton of 62. I like the 62 sculpt. There's just something, I don't know, like seeing the pictures of this, and I think you could probably say this for most sofubi, don't do this figure justice. I saw it and I was like, oh, you know what? It's a cheap toy. Cheap for sofubi.
Agreed. It's all relative.
I don't want to say cheap because it's still over $100 or around there, but it's like, as far as sofubi goes, it's a good size. It's a fair price, and it's really like the semi-translucent blue, the gold. It's just a beautiful little toy, and I said, well, I gotta buy something, so pick this guy.
And I also think like toys like that one, especially anything with like a subtle translucence or like pictures, you're right, they don't do it justice. And when it hits the light or there's a different type of lighting in your room, it's almost like you have a totally different colorway. And that's what I think is so cool about some of those. And Gigabrain, they do a wonderful job. I mean, I think their translucent stuff is really cool. I don't know. I think it's good. I was trying to look up to see. I couldn't remember if that one was an exclusive or if that was it's one of the older ones. I know.
I don't know. I don't know much about it. I just knew it was a Gigabrain, and I don't know.
That's a cool one. That's one of my favorite. Their gold spray on their translucent stuff is always really, really good.
2006.
Yeah. 06, 07 in that time frame. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. Cool.
That's a great pick, dude.
Yeah, it's cool. So the next thing I got is a weird one. And I saw this in a flea market, not like an antique store. Saw this in an antique store, almost didn't buy it. And then I was walking around the store thinking about it, and I was like, let me see if I can figure out what the fuck this is. And I found it on eBay, and I found a couple on eBay that I was like, whoa, this seems to kind of be an expensive thing. It was not expensive in the store at all, so I said, I better buy this. And it's this weird trademark tin King Kong thing. It's supposed to roar from what I've looked online. It does have a battery compartment, and I have the lid for the battery compartment, but it's not attached currently, so I haven't tried to get this going or anything. It's got an off and on switch in the back, trademark. Yeah, I just don't know much about it, but I was like, this thing seems like it might be a little hard to come by, or it's just cool. Yeah, even if it's not hard to come by, it was pretty cheap, and this is awesome. Yeah, I like King Kong, so
anything from the 70s, 80s, and this one, I think, I mean, most of it's trademark modern, because I've actually sold some of their stuff on my site. Some of their Ultraman Jack stuff, so like early 70s, and it was a wind up. And they also released they did some Gamera stuff. What I love, my favorite toy that they've released, and I've never seen in person, is they did an Ultraman that drives a fire truck. So a lot of the little figures on like the M1 obviously with the tricycles and everything, but like they did vehicles in the 70s. So that's kind of cool. They're cool. That's a cool, awesome toy. I mean, that just like the aesthetic of that vintage tin style, and that kind of almost folk arty Kong representation is freaking stunning. That's one of the coolest things that's been on this show.
It looks like his eyes light up too. Like you can see they're not like attached to this outer shell. You can like look under and see. It looks like they're light bulbs. So I think his eyes might even. I'm guessing his arms do this. But yeah, this thing's awesome. I was happy to I was happy to just randomly find this in
that's a cool toy.
Antique store that's something in the middle of Savannah, Georgia.
I mean, that one, because it's Kong and the kind of the iconography behind that, because it's a very cool vintage style and look. I mean, that doesn't even have to go in a toy room. That could be in like anywhere, like be a style piece. Like it's a very, 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 very cool piece. Very glad you picked that up, and that'll look cool on one of your shelves. Some King Kong stuff around it. It'd be very cool
for sure. I got one more piece, Jay.
Yeah,
and I have to say it's from last year's top 10 list.
Dun, dun, dun! That's awesome.
This
we need some music for that.
We do, yeah. Put that in post. Yeah. So this was on my top 10 list at the end of the year, or the beginning of this year, or whatever.
Our wish list number 2.
Now, what's crazy about this toy, before I even show it, is this was sent in from a Toy Anxiety listener. Matt Bush. I'm not sure if you listen to this show, but I know he's a Toy Anxiety. He should. He's a Toy Anxiety listener, and I think regular YHS, and he's been really generous, and he's sent us a couple care packages over the year or so, and it's always cool stuff. But he heard me talking about this because one popped up online. I have a saved search for this toy, and it popped up in the middle of an episode of Toy Anxiety, and I was like, "Oh shit, should I buy this right on the show?" But it was right before the toy show. It wasn't cheap.
Yeah.
So I didn't buy it. And then one day Craig called me and he's like, "Hey man, isn't this that thing you were talking about?" And I was like, "Yeah. Is that what's happening?" And he's like, "Somebody sent it to you."
What happened?
I don't want to bury the lead any further. It's Trendmasters Megalon, dude. In the box.
With the card.
Unopened. He's got the little plastic tying him down. This is a unopened Godzilla Wars Trendmasters Megalon from 1995. For some reason, Megalon always eluded me. Even when I was a kid, when I was buying these, Megalon has always been one of my favorites. But
they made like 5 of them.
Yeah, anybody knows about the Trendmaster stuff, Megalon was kind of towards the end of the line. They didn't make as many. Same with Varan and Baragon. They didn't make a ton. But I have those 2 figures. Never got a Megalon. So always wanted one. And now I have a fucking Megalon in the box, dude. This is beautiful.
That looks great.
I'm so happy with this. And Matt, if you're listening to this show, again, thanks, dude, because this is awesome. But I'm looking at the back. I'm looking at the back of the box. It's got all the other. I think now what I need, I got a good bit of Trendmaster stuff.
Yeah,
and they did like three or 4 different scales, and then there's the big scale. I have some of the Kaiju from the big scale, but I do not have the Biollante, not the big one. I got some of the medium-sized ones, and I got some of the small ones. Never got the big one. I think that's going to be next on my Trendmasters list, and it's probably more expensive than Megalon. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I think not only is that awesome that you get to check something off the top 10 list, but I think it's a YHS on Monster Island first. This is the first time that a top 10 item has been gifted to one of us. So
yeah, it's crazy.
Jacob Walsh breaking down the walls here. That's amazing. Matt Bush with the assist. That's cool stuff.
Yeah, it's awesome. So if anybody wants to get me that Kraken, Kraken.
You won't turn it away. So hey, I was actually having a conversation with somebody the other night about Trendmasters. I had a question for you because you know a lot more.
Let's hear it.
You still have a lot of your collection. So we're talking about like some of like the most important toys, Godzilla toys that ever existed, right? And we're talking about like specific singular toys, like the Marusan J-Tel and L-Tel from '67, the Bullmark, the giant Godzilla that was in Godzilla versus Hedorah, the Marusan remote control 10 Godzilla that was from like the Aurora model kit, the Popey Jumbosaurus, Imperial, you name it. And I was saying, like, especially for us, like the line of Trendmasters is very important because it was an advertisement to like, hey, there are other Godzilla things being out there, or that are out there to a whole group of American kids that had no exposure to anything in the Heisei era because it ended at Godzilla in 1985 to us, right? So am I wrong in saying that? Or is there a signature, like singular Trendmasters toy that is like almost bigger than the line? It's like when you say Trendmasters Godzilla, does one toy like pop in your head? To me, it's like it is like it's the line as a whole, and like there was not like one signature piece.
Yeah,
it's really just everything.
To me, when I think of Trendmasters, the thing that just pops in my head right away is the weird like stylization that they went with, because every single kaiju looks like a He-Man character. They all have muscles. Anguirus is walking on his hind legs and he's got muscles. Even Biolante's vines look like they have muscles. Biolante has legs.
Yeah.
The Godzilla looks like a fucking like mean badass. Like they all are super, super stylized, like Americanized in the worst. Like I feel like Toho probably was like, oh, these are ugly. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I bet like hardcore sofubi people probably hated them when they first came out. I don't know if that's true, but that's like just the vibe I get. But I don't know if there's one. It was such a huge line. It's a giant line of toys. They're so like if an American Godzilla toy line came out today with that amount of variety, it would be a fucking dream, because there was literally 2 packs. There was 3 or 4 different scales. There were
micros.
They came with cards, micros. Yeah, there was human figures. There's
and the versus packs, like they're the two like
there was bendables. There's Tamagotchis. There's fucking
watch the Tiger handheld game.
Yep, the game, which I have right up there. And then there's eggs where they come in little breakaway eggs. There were the supercharged where they come with armor. And it was, you got it right there. Yeah, I got mine right up here. And they, it was a good line. And it was, we could do a whole episode on Trendmasters. And it was responsible for showing a lot of people that they're, like you just said this, that there are other monsters out there. I had no idea who Space Godzilla was until I saw the toy. And the Space Godzilla toy that's maybe one of the best ones. The Space Godzilla toy is awesome.
Yeah, and it's getting new life as with the Mondo release,
which I bought. Variant. Did you get one? We haven't talked about this. Did you buy one?
I did. Yeah, and we Ryan and I actually talked about it. He did as well. We were joking about like, hey, like Mondo, like Space Godzilla, like I think I might get every variant. I go, do I collect every Mondo variant like I do the Marusan?
I did not. I don't know. I did not order the first one,
and that was
because I knew I didn't. Yeah, I didn't order standard because I knew I was going to get the Trendmasters one, and there's also a glitter one coming, and I've seen that one in person, and I also want that one. So I was like, I don't want to get a ton. I got 2 of the Biolantes. I'm gonna get at least 2 of the Space Godzillas, and I was like, I'm not gonna get this first one. You know, I let it. Yeah. It was hard to like just be like, nope, look the other way. But I did get the Trendmasters version, and I can't
very
wait.
Cool. Yeah, that. I mean, that has to be. I have a feeling, assuming it makes into our hands this year, it has to be in Figure of the Year discussions.
We'll see. I don't remember how long those Biolantes took. I don't know. I also don't know what's up with Mondo. You know, Mondo's having a little bit of a time right now, but
changes.
There's some changes, but and you know, I don't want to talk too much on that, but from what I've heard from, I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to be saying or allowed to be saying, but from what I hear, the toy side of Mondo is getting a kick up, and it's they're gonna go even harder in that stuff. So cool. I'm excited to see so much more Godzilla stuff from Mondo, because they're all the drama recently aside, because I don't understand enough of what's going on to talk about it. But all of that drama aside, their fucking toys are killing it. So I'm super excited to get Space Godzilla. And I wonder, like, we've gotten Biollante, we've gotten some Godzillas. I was a little underwhelmed with the Godzillas. I didn't buy any of them. I didn't buy any of the Godzillas. The Jets were amazing. The Biolantes were amazing. The Space Godzillas are amazing. Who's going to be next? I hope it's
Rodan, right? Is it? Wasn't that the one?
Well, there is a Rodan. There is a Rodan, right?
Or was that? Did you see that at San Diego Comic-Con? I can't remember. I think there was a Rodan that was on there, but it might not be next. But it was on there.
I just hope that they continue to do. Biollante is one that doesn't get a ton of sofubi. Space Godzilla has how many figures? The Space
mostly
Godzilla
Marmit. 2? Yeah, mostly just Marmit stuff. Yeah.
So I hope they continue that trend and maybe do some more underutilized kaiju.
Yeah, I think it would be awesome. I mean, that's a smart thing, and I didn't love most of the Godzilla 84s they did. I do have 2.
That's what I meant. Yeah, those. Yeah.
I do have the Designer Con one from this year, and then the Umi variant, which was Designer Con 2021, and the one from this year, which was the Heat Ray. Not Heat Ray. I don't know. Something. Anyway, I love those, but I don't have any of the Heteras. I don't own any of those.
I didn't get Heteras either. I want a Shin. I think it'd be cool if they do some Shins.
That'd be really cool.
Or I don't know. We'll fucking see. Do something. I want a second run of. I want a second run of Pulgasaris. Give me more of those.
Maybe they'll do a Space Monster Wong Mongwi.
No. All right.